It began like any other interview, the hum of studio lights, polite laughter, and that unmistakable charm Sam Heughan seemed to carry effortlessly into every room. But this time, something was different. His trademark smile didn't quite reach his eyes. The host leaned forward, casually uttering one loaded word: marriage. And just like that, the air shifted. For a fleeting moment, Sam's gaze fell to the floor. He inhaled slowly, the kind of breath that feels like it carries years of weight. When he finally spoke, his voice was soft, almost fragile. "I think it's time I tell my truth." 8 words, that was all it took to stop time. The audience fell silent. The host blinked, startled. For years, fans had woven theories, headlines, and entire digital universes around Sam Heughan's love life. Was he secretly married? Was there a woman hidden somewhere in the Highlands? Had there been a quiet wedding Scotland never knew about? Through it all, Sam had laughed, politely sidestepped the rumors, and let the speculations swirl around him like mist. But now the storm had caught up. Every photo with a woman became a headline. Every red carpet glance turned into a clue. And above all, his undeniable chemistry with Catriona Balfe on Outlander only fueled the fire. To millions of fans, Jamie and Claire weren't just fiction, they were real. When Catriona married someone else, some still refused to believe it. To them, Sam was the secret husband of a love story too perfect to end. And for years, he said nothing, until that moment. With a faint, ironic smile, he finally spoke. "People think I have a wife hidden somewhere, but the truth is much simpler and much lonelier." Gone was the movie star glow. In its place stood a man stripped bare, tired, honest, and achingly human. "Fame can make you feel like you're living inside someone else's fantasy," he said quietly. "After a while, you start to forget who you really are." The room stayed utterly still. Even the interviewer didn't dare interrupt. "Everyone wanted me to be the perfect husband, the romantic hero. But I'm still just someone trying to figure life out." His words trembled, slightly heavy with sincerity. "I've heard all the stories that I got married in secret, that I have a family hidden in the Highlands. I used to laugh about it, but after years it stops being funny. It becomes a wall between who you are and who people want you to be." A hush fell. Under the bright studio lights, his eyes glistened. "There's no secret wife," he said simply. "No hidden vows. No fairy tale I'm keeping from the world." It should have been a relief, but instead it broke hearts. Because behind that confession was something deeper, the quiet ache of a man who had carried the world's fantasies on his shoulders for too long. Fans who had built their dreams on his on-screen love story suddenly saw the truth. Sam wasn't living a secret romance. He was living a life of solitude, one built on dedication, silence, and sacrifice. "I've played love stories people never forget," he continued. "But real love, that's harder. Fame makes it difficult to trust, to be vulnerable, to open up without wondering who's watching." He smiled faintly, not the polished grin that graced magazine covers, but something gentler, wistful. "People want to believe I found my happy ending," he said softly, "but maybe I'm still looking for it." Those words echoed across the world. Within minutes, the internet was ablaze. "He's not married, he's been lonely all this time." Sam Heughan truth trended globally. But for those who listened closely, this moment wasn't about ending rumors, it was about reclaiming himself. For the first time, Sam wasn't performing the role the world had cast for him. He was defining himself. The host tried to lighten the air. "So, no secret wedding? No mysterious Mrs. Heughan hiding out there somewhere?" Sam chuckled softly, a quiet laugh that almost sounded like relief. "No," he said. "If there ever was, the world would know. But until then, I guess I'm married to my work, and maybe to my fans." The audience laughed tenderly, but beneath it they felt the truth. It was raw, heartfelt, real. When the interview ended, the rumors weren't just silenced, they were transformed. Because in that moment, Sam Heughan wasn't the invincible Jamie Fraser. He was simply Sam, a man searching, learning, and brave enough to whisper, "This is who I am." As he stood to leave, cameras caught a final glimpse, Sam offering a small smile, his eyes shimmering with emotion. It wasn't the look of a man defeated, but of a man finally free. Within hours, the clip went viral. Headlines blazed across the internet: "Sam Heughan's truth, no secret marriage, just honesty." But beyond the hashtags and trending topics, something unexpected happened. Fans didn't gossip. They grieved. For years, they had clung to a fantasy, and now that fantasy had been gently dismantled by the man they admired most. "I feel like I owe him an apology," one fan wrote online. "We made up stories because we wanted his life to look like the roles he played." Another said, "He's been carrying our expectations for years. No wonder he looked so tired." Celebrities too applauded his courage. Fellow actors called it a rare moment of truth in an industry built on illusion. Mental health advocates quoted his reflections on loneliness, saying his honesty resonated far beyond Hollywood with anyone who's ever felt trapped by expectations. Days later, Catriona Balfe was asked about the interview at a film event. She paused, smiled softly and said, "Sam's always been incredibly honest. He gives so much of himself on screen and off. I think what he said needed to be heard." It was brief but powerful. Their decade-long trust and friendship, once mistaken for romance, was once again shining in the purest light. And for once, fans didn't confuse it for love. They recognized it for what it was, respect. In the days that followed, Sam disappeared into the quiet of Scotland. Paparazzi spotted him walking along a misty Highland trail, hands in his pockets, wool cap pulled low, no entourage in sight, just peace. A few days later, he returned online with a single black and white poster, "Sunrise over the hills." The caption read, "No secrets, just beginnings." In less than an hour, it hit 1 million likes. The world melted, because this wasn't just the end of a rumor, it was the start of something more human. He had reclaimed his story. And what made that moment powerful wasn't that he denied the fairy tale, it was that he revealed the price of it. Behind every flawless red carpet smile was a man torn between reality and expectation, between who he was and who the world wanted him to be. A close friend later said on a podcast, "He's finally breathing again. For years, people kept writing his story for him. Now he's taken the pen back." His confession sparked something bigger, a global conversation about fame, privacy, and the dangerous way we blur fiction with reality. Outlander fans had loved Jamie and Claire so deeply that they forgot Sam wasn't living that story. He was living something real, messy, imperfect, and brave. Ironically, his vulnerability made people love him more than ever, because in a world obsessed with perfect love stories, Sam Heughan had given us something infinitely rarer: truth. A week later, he appeared at a charity gala in London. When asked how he was feeling, he smiled warmly and said, "Lighter, freer, honest." Before walking away, he turned to the cameras and added, "I'm grateful for all the love, but maybe the lesson is this: sometimes the person you think has everything is still searching just like you." The clip spread faster than the confession itself. Fans cried. Critics called it the most genuine moment of his career. Because for once, Sam Heughan wasn't hiding behind a character, a camera, or a smile. He was just himself, unguarded, unfiltered, and free. And in that rare honesty, he reminded the world the most beautiful love story isn't always the one we share with another person. Sometimes it's the one we learn to write with ourselves.